What's going on, everybody? BouseFeenux here, back with another look at what is coming in Season 5 with these new hero reworks. Yesterday we did Kinsei, and if you missed that video, you can click the card in the top right-hand corner of the screen to get caught up. But essentially what we're doing here is taking a quick look, first impressions, at the new reworks for each hero, and today we're doing Berserker, obviously, as you can see here. And we will do the other two, so don't worry, those are coming. I know a lot of you have been asking for Conqueror and Highlander. Those are coming, don't worry, I'll be out with those tomorrow. But let's take a look at Berserker. So a lot of you have seen the patch notes for this already. You've seen the rework on the dev stream. But let's go ahead and actually play it and take a look at how it all works. So what's new as far as attacks go? Nothing really. There are really no brand new attacks for Berserker. Not like with Kinsei, where it's brand new animations and a bunch of other stuff. A lot of Berserker's attacks have just gotten enhanced properties, and we'll take a look at that here. So first, Deflect has been changed. A lot of people are upset about this, and rightfully so. It's kind of goofy, but it is what it is. To execute the Deflect now, you have to actually press the guard break button to get your guard break, because Berserker's Deflect gives you a guard break. Used to do it automatically, now you have to actually press the X button right after you deflect, so that's going to be some muscle memory you'll have to build up. I know I'm still kind of struggling with that one too. You now have Hyper Armor on your second attack. I think that's always been the case. Second or third, I can't remember if it was third or not, but it was pretty early. It was pretty early on. So that's there as well. So that looks like this. When performing a chain of 2 attacks or more, your attacks become uninterruptible. So our second attack here, this heavy, that has the Hyper Armor on it. And now Bear Mauler finishers, you just kind of saw that there. But Bear Mauler finishers are uninterruptible. For those of you that don't know, Bear Mauler is your 3-hit heavy attack. And the last hit on Bear Mauler is uninterruptible. It has a unblockable icon. And it doesn't matter what side you do that finisher from. You could do it from left, right, top, whatever. It's uninterruptible, or it's unblockable now. And you have Hyper Armor during it, which is really nice. So that's pretty powerful. Gives you a lot of pressure game. Put a lot of pressure on the opponent. Your top heavy finishers are also unblockable as well. If it's the second hit or later in a chain, it's unblockable. So what's that look like? It looks like this. You do a light attack, and you do a heavy attack. Top heavy is unblockable if it's a second hit or later in a chain, so. And you can feint that, of course, which you're probably going to want to do. I don't really feel like this is that strong, to be honest, because this is what Berserkers already have, this muscle memory, right? Like, they already feint that top heavy into something else. They already do this, and now it's even more pronounced that it's unblockable, so now you can kind of do that. It kind of feels like Shaman a little bit, like you're playing a Shaman. And of course, you know, they're either going to try to dodge or they're just going to parry you or whatever. Like, this is a very long attack. It's very obvious that you're going to let this go or feint it, because you have to feint it pretty early in its startup. You have enough time, I feel like, to decide whether to parry or get out of the way or do whatever you're going to do, whatever defensive action you want to take there. So I don't really feel like that's a super strong addition to the kit. We'll see how it plays out, though. It does put more pressure on the opponent. Like, an unblockable is always scary, right? Like, you don't want to be hit by that, especially not by a Berserker top heavy. Jesus, those do so much damage. Moving on, though. Feint attacks. Immediately after a feint, basic chain openers become uninterruptible. So basic chain openers become uninterruptible after a feint. So see, we did a feint. We can do that in a heavy, too. But top heavy ends our chain, as always, so don't forget about that. So we can kind of just infinitely chain that and have Hyper Armor pretty much no matter what we're doing. I feel like that's pretty strong. Another thing I want to point out too is I've been playing with Berserker for a couple hours now. Just in this test build. Obviously I've played Berserker a lot longer than that, but I've been playing Berserker in this test build, and compared to the live version of Berserker that is available to the public right now, I feel like you have no stamina at all. Especially now, since like this, the backstep, costs 65 stamina, which is absolutely ridiculous. But it does chain into attacks, so that's pretty nice. And so does your regular zone. Of course, we have no stamina, though. Anyway, chain starters. Heads Placer, Spin Chop, and Skilled Slash initiate chain attacks. The next attack in the chain must be a heavy, because these are technically light attacks. So let's wait for our stamina to come back here, and boop. All right, so Head Slicer is this. And it kind of goes off of how your Dance of the Paired Blades work, right? Because your infinite combo is Dance of the Paired Blades, and it's always a heavy light or a light heavy. Either one of those, repeating ad infinitum. But these count as light attacks. So your Spin Chop is a light attack input, and your next attack has to be a heavy. So that can be a top heavy unblockable, it can be whatever you want. And I don't know about you guys, but it feels like I don't always get these feints, which is really weird. I feel like I press at the same time every time, but I don't always get a feint. Sometimes the attack just goes ahead and lets loose. I don't know if that's like they changed the timing or something, but it's really weird. Anyway, Zone Attack and Slashing Rush can initiate chain attacks, so those are your heavy openers. So can I do a Zone Attack, please? Thank you. The next attack has to be light. So with Zone Attack, that's technically a heavy attack, as you all know. That's kind of been the same since the beginning of time. And then we have our... That is going to end your combo, because it's top heavy. What is the Slashing Rush? Oh, that's your backwards Zone Attack. My bad. Does anybody else do that, where you don't really know the names of your character's moves, you just know what the input is, like your back zone or whatever? I always just go by heavy, light, or, you know, I don't know the chain names or anything like that. I never really bothered with that. But anyway, I think we pretty much covered everything. Close combat, you can dodge out of your miss recovery. So miss recovery of basic attack, chain attack, or head crusher can be canceled by a zone attack, slashing rush, or a dodge. So if you like whiff, so like let's say you do this and you whiff, oops, and you miss, you can cancel out of that miss recovery. So that's really nice. And then cancel attacks. So for some reason I read that they had taken this away in the patch notes, but you can still cancel out of your... People were really upset about this. Because, and the devs were like, well, it creates flicker, so we're gonna go ahead and take that out. But in the patch notes, it said that you couldn't do this anymore. You couldn't cancel out of the startup of your heavy attacks. Maybe I read that wrong. Maybe one of you can confirm, but I feel like that was pretty clear. Anyway, chain flow, Dance of the Paired Blades can chain directly into the Bear Mauler chain. We already showed you guys that. That's our infinite chain here. I don't know why these inputs are not working for me today. And then our Bear Mauler, there we go. So yep, you got a lot more fluidity with Berserker now. I really don't feel like this rework is... It's kind of underwhelming, to be totally honest with you guys. I'm not super impressed. I think it gives Berserker a little more viability. If anything, just for the unblockables and then the hyper armor on the feint game like that. Like, having hyper armor on essentially every attack you do is kind of powerful. And that's going to be really annoying because you're pretty much always going to have to decide if you want to trade with a Berserker. And with the parry changes, it's even worse. So let's hop over and we'll fight a bot real quick, just for a second, and we'll show you how that works. All right, so here we are. I spooled us up a Shugo bot to fight against, and I'm just going to go ahead and let him kill me so I can have full health. And here we go. So let's take a look at, let's try to get a deflect real quick. I'll show you guys how. I mean, it's, you pretty much just press the button. As you know, those side throws don't really do damage anymore. And see, I pressed the input there, so the timing is really weird. So let's go ahead. There we go. So really, it's the same animation, same everything. Let's get him over here, and we'll actually fight him. Notice there is a new parry animation, and that was a light parry, and I didn't get a guard break. So light parry is like really visceral looking. Flashes your screen, it plays a sound effect. Like, you really know when you get one. This bot's just gonna block everything I do. That's always super annoying. So this is kind of what your flow is gonna look like. And you run out of stamina because you basically have none. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm overreacting about the stamina thing. There we go. So pretty nice flow. I mean, feels like same old Berserker. You just got a few other tricks in your little tool bag here. But, really, like I said, it's, as far as like an entire rework goes, it's just kind of underwhelming. It's just really, really overall not very, I don't know. But maybe it gives Berserker enough gumption, I guess, to get to the higher tiers of the game and be a little more viable and higher end stuff. But guys, I really appreciate you watching. Like I said, we'll be coming out with the Highlander and Conqueror videos soon. And that will pretty much do it for all the new hero reworks. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. If you're new here, get subscribed so you never miss a new video. And until next time, guys, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you at the next one. And as always, thank you so much for watching.